Alright, talking about the 5th chapter of Exodus, and Moses wins an audience with the Lord, the Overlord, the Warlord, the King, the Pharaoh, the ruler of all of Egypt. Moses is granted audience with him. Now, why he is granted audience with him can be speculated on. My speculation is because, for one thing, he had a really big army and a lot of influence over the Hebrew slaves, and he was the son of the Pharaoh, and the Pharaoh was well aware that shit was brewing. We'll start with verse 2. Who is the Lord? This is what the Pharaoh asked Moses. And then he said, I do not know the Lord, nor will I let Israel go. So he recognized that Moses was doing the Lord trip, but he didn't recognize it as real. And of course, Moses knew that this was going to happen, and he was betting on it, and he wanted the tensions to rise. So this is sort of a preamble, this chapter, to what's going to come, which are great murdering scenarios, which are a lot of fun. Okay, so the king, the Pharaoh, explains to Moses that the people, the Israelites, are the slaves of the Egyptians, and they are there to make bricks, and they shall make bricks, and they will also collect their own straw now, because Moses wanted to complain and go out for a party in the wilderness for 3 days, or a 3-day walk into the wilderness with a whole tribe, with a whole 600,000 soldiers plus their family. He wanted to go out and have a little bit of a hoedown with however they do it. And the Pharaoh said no, and made them do more work, more bricks. It's always more bricks. I don't know if there's any significance in bricks. I quite think that making bricks is just something that they have to make because the bricks are used to make buildings, and that was part of their job, was to make buildings as well as other things. But maybe somebody knows more about bricks than I do. Maybe a mason knows something significant about bricks, but I think more than anything they were brick makers. Maybe the forerunners to the Freemasons, the enslaved Masons. Yeah, there you go. Well, I don't propose to get a lot out of this chapter. If somebody understands more about the significance of making bricks, I don't see anything in it. But the significance was that Moses had intended to take him out for a walk, and the Pharaoh said, no, do more work. And that led us to Moses being admonished by his people, the Hebrews, telling him, well, what good is that? You making our life harder for us. And he said to his Lord, after he gets so much flack from the people, what's going on with that? Why are you being such an idiot? I go out and do what you tell me to do, you my Lord. And the Pharaoh gets mad at me. But he wanted the Pharaoh mad at him anyway, so I'm not quite sure why he was arguing with his Lord. Maybe just to be somewhat more sympathetic, so we think, oh, the poor Moses is upset. But he had already told us he had full intentions to make the Pharaoh not believe him and to rain terror on the place. But we'll skip along to verse 23. Still you have not delivered your people. This is what he says to the Lord. And I think the whole thing's a little bit mixed up, this chapter. And if anybody wants to make any suggestions on this one, I'd be more than happy to hear them.